प्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं त्वं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण। स्वयं प्रकाश प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम्स। हरे कृष्ण। स्वयं प्रकाश प्रभु जी।
चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् साधना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर।
हरे कृष्ण। स्वयं प्रकाश प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम्स।
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the joining. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome all of you for the today's morning program, Nityam Bhagavatha Sevaya, and we are very fortunate to have His Grace Swayam Prakash Prabhu, and Prabhu will talk about the transcendental prayers of Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhuji.
So is it the whole one or just the?
It is a series, Prabhuji, going on.
Okay, one verse only now, or?
Yes, Prabhuji. It is up to Prabhuji 1 or 2, but it is in the series going.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Swayam Prakash Prabhu. I share the specific verse to you, Prabhuji. You can speak on that and also something else.
Okay. Yeah, I got that verse of Prahlad Maharaj. That this one. That's I just wanted this one. Whether only that one or the other one. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji, you can start.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Ruttamaśloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishchiki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Today we are discussing from the prayers of Srila Prabhupada, Krishna Tapa Punya Vivai. In that, Prabhupada is quoting the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, where he mentions about the gratitude of Prahlad Maharaj towards his spiritual master. Evam janam nipatitam prabhavahi kupe kamabhikamam anuyah prapatan prasangat krutvatmasat surashina bhagavan grihitaha soham katham visraje tava bhritya sevam. Translation. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, Because of my association with material desires, one after another, I was gradually falling into a blind well full of snakes, following the general populace. But your servant Narad Muni kindly accepted me as his disciple and instructed me how to achieve this transcendental position. Therefore, my first duty is to serve him. How could I leave his service? So, we'll read the purport of this line by line, and we'll discuss about it. ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादि पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामिने गौरत्रिषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। Sorry. So, with the blessings of all of you, I'll try to share some things on this verse based on my level of understanding, based on whatever Srila Prabhupada's teachings. So here in this verse, we are seeing the attitude of Prahlad Maharaj, which Srila Prabhupada is showing in his own prayers also. All the great acharyas, generally, they are they all if you see carefully, their aspirations or the desires remains principally the same. The details may vary. The same way as Prahlad is expressing here, that how can I give up the service of my spiritual master Narad Muni, who has given me this wonderful opportunity to practice bhakti. And like Prahlad is telling, I'm born in the Asuric dynasty, and from there he has picked me up and given me this position. How can I remember that? Once there was a person who was working in the company, and every day afternoon he would close his door and then he would do something. There were few people he was successful, so others, there were few people who were envious of him also. And seeing that he is doing something, they wanted to find out that, oh, he's doing something, so if we put some blame on him, then he will be defamed. So they were trying for that. And meanwhile, one day they went and informed to their main boss that such and such, like he every day afternoon, he closes his door and does something which none of us know. So then the owner of the company, he came and asked him, see, I've got this complaint on you. So what do you do? He said, nothing, sir, nothing. No, but then he insisted, and he also observed one day afternoon, and exactly as they said, they're like, no, he closed the door, and then he was doing something. Then when he insisted, then he took him inside and he showed the cupboard, and inside the cupboard there was very old torn clothes were there. And then when he asked, what is this? He said, sir, this is the dress with which I had come here. And you gave me opportunity to work here and gave me, trusted me, and you have given me this responsibility. Now every day I keep seeing this so that I don't become proud or something. I remain grateful to you and I can serve you. So there's a mundane example, but then how when one remembers what one was before and what is the situation one is present, that can make us remain grateful for our acharyas or the spiritual master and the devotees who have helped us to come to this position. So Srila Prabhupada in this beautiful song, Krishna Tava Punya Have Bhai, in this so he in the beginning also he offers prayer, and then he is expressing this one, that it is my Guru Maharaj Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is very dear to Mother, son of Mother Shachi, that is Lord Gauranga, and there is nobody who is equal to his desire to serve the Lord. And with that, and he is not just this one, then he is the spiritual master of the entire universe, and there is nobody who is equal to him in terms of the service. And just a minute. And then he says that Tara Icha Balavan Paschatite Than Than Hoye Jate Gaurangera Nam. And then he is telling that because my spiritual master's desire is that it should spread across the globe, and his desire is so strong that Prithvite Nagaradi Asamudra Nadanadi Sakale Loy Krishna, and it's going to happen. That was a faith which Srila Prabhupada had in the words of his spiritual master. Even in the Bada Krupa, in that also he writes that Prabhupada had so much of faith in the holy name and the instruction of his spiritual master. And once there was one Sanskrit Pandit who would come every day, Dola Shastri, every day he would come to Srila Prabhupada's house to teach Sanskrit. That time Srila Prabhupada was a Grahastha. And Prabhupada would be coming from his business, and many other sannyasis and brahmacharis and other devotees would come to learn from Dola Shastri. Prabhupada would sit after coming back on the steps outside, and then he would be chanting his rounds, and sometimes he would listen to the classes. One day when he was sitting and chanting, he heard this Dola Shastri speaking. He quoted this verse that Prithvite Ache Etanagarades Gram Sarvatra Pachar Hoibe Moranam. He quoted that shloka, and then he said, actually this Prithvi means the Bharatavarsha. it is a allegorically we should take. We should not take it figuratively. Should take, not exactly. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's name will be spread across the Bharata. And then everybody went, and then afterwards Srila Prabhupada was talking to him. And then he said, no, you said that Prithvite Achetanagaradi, and you said that it is Bharat. Then again he was telling that. But Prabhupada said, if that were to the case, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would have said that, because in another shloka he has said, Bharata Bhumite Manushya Janma Hoila Jar. So in this also he would have mentioned Prithvite Acha instead of that, the Bharat Deshate Achetanagaradi Gram. Why didn't he mention? So if he has mentioned Prithvi, that means it has to be whole entire world, earth. And then he looked at the eyes of Dola Shaji. One day, a fool who has complete faith in the instruction of his spiritual master will be able to do it. And turned again and he said, but it will not be you. Prabhupada was telling that you don't have the faith, but somebody who has faith in the words of the spiritual master, he is going to make it happen. And Prabhupada had taken it to his heart. That's why we see right from the beginning in the Leela Amrita also it comes that Prabhupada was trying to get into the business and try to earn money just for the sake of he can earn more and give it to Bhakti Sarsi Thakur for his missionary activities. And even I heard in one of the letter I was reading long back, in that Prabhupada writes that Bhakti Sarsi Thakur in 1933-34 and all, when he had sent some of his disciples to Germany, that time he was sending them 5,000 rupees per month for the preaching expenses. And Prabhupada writes, see, our Guru Maharaj is spending so much. This Prabhupada is writing from the US. He wants that this holy name and this Krishna consciousness should be spread across the globe. And that's why he was spending so much. And Prabhupada, this is the initial days, and Prabhupada says, I don't have any help, and I'm requesting all of you, but none of you are coming forward to help. I'm feeling very much pity. And then if my Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Sarsi Thakur, were to be there present physically, he would have not allowed me to be in this situation, Prabhupada writes. So, and even the incident of when on the Vyasa Puja, Srila Prabhupada writes that poem that Bhakti Sarsi Thakur says that he has understood my heart. So whatever he writes, you print. So with that, understanding that, and now Srila Prabhupada is feeling so much of indebtedness that he has given me this, enthroned me this act of preaching. Now how will I do? I don't have any strength. And he gave me this instruction, and I am I'm a fallen person, and I am not qualified at all. And that's why I'm just begging for the mercy of you, my dear Lord. Please, empower me and to make this happen, which is my Guru Maharaj's this one in order the instruction. And only when you bestow me your power, and I am trying to fulfill the desire of my spiritual master, that will make the things become successful. And then if somebody is able to serve the spiritual master, then that is the perfection of one's life, and one will be really get your blessings also. That's what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also says. Yasya prasadat Bhagavat prasado yasya prasadan nagati kutopi. So if by pleasing the spiritual master, one pleases the Krishna, Bhagavat prasado. And if one displeases the spiritual master, he displeases the Krishna. So, and then Prabhupada mentions this present verse of quoting from the Srimad Bhagavatam of how Prahlad Maharaj is telling that I don't want to give up the service to my uh, spiritual master. The same way, I also want to worship. I want your mercy, my dear Lord, but I want it through my spiritual master. I cannot, like, I'm servant of my spiritual master in serving you, not directly. Once one of the Srila Prabhupada's disciple, I think if it is, if I'm not wrong, Bhavanand Prabhu was telling. So he said, I don't know who Krishna is. So even if, like, at the time of the death, I know whether I remember Krishna or not, I'm least worried, but I don't want to forget Prabhupada, because he's the one who has told us about, like, no, Krishna, and I just want to remember him and his lotus feet, because I don't know Krishna. So that is the attitude or the gratitude what many of the Srila Prabhupada's disciples, they carry for Srila Prabhupada. And there are many incidences where many of the Srila Prabhupada's disciples, they exhibited unfathomable amount of eagerness to serve, going to any extent to please him and serve him. This is a very famous example. Many times you might have heard that one day Srila Prabhupada was traveling in the train, and while traveling in the train, Srila Prabhupada said, called Yamuna Mataji and said, I want to have hot rice. And then, like, it's a traveling train, and then Prabhupada said, I want hot rice. And she said, okay, Prabhupada, I'll come. And she went to pantry and tried to ask, and the pantry people, they said, no, we cannot. And then she was not knowing what to do. No matter what she requested, then they were not allowing. Went directly to the TC and told, see, either you allow me to cook rice in the pantry, otherwise I'm going to jump off the train. And with what seriousness she told, he became so stunned that, like, no, these Westerners, they may not mind doing anything, going to any extent. And then he said, okay, you can cook. And then, like, no, she goes to the pantry, cooks and brings the hot rice and gives it to Prabhupada. And then, like, no, Prabhupada, when he takes, Prabhupada said, oh, hot rice, thank you. And that's this one, that, like, no, just a smile on the face of Srila Prabhupada. And so many Prabhupada disciples, they were so happy just to see that one smile on the face of Srila Prabhupada. So the same way, here also we see that Prahlad Maharaj is telling that, my dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because of my association with material desires, one after another, I was gradually falling into the blind well full of snakes. Evam janam nipatitam prabhavahi kupe. Ahi kupe means, ahi means the snake, kupa means the well. Kama bhi kama anuya prapatanta sangat. Because of the prasanga, prakrishta rupena sangha. Sangha means the association. Prasanga means prakrishta, special, like, no, association. And because of that, what is happening? Prapatan, I am falling down. So this prasangat can be used for the both, positively and negatively both. So if one, like, no, what is that? In the third canto, 25th chapter, 25th verse, prasangat mama virya sammido bhavanti hritkarna rasayana kata. There also it comes that how my devotees, they take each other's association and they discuss about my glories, and they relish that. And here, that is the positive association, and here it is mentioning about the negative association. And with this, like, no, following the people in general, Prahlad Maharaj is telling what is happening. My the kama or the desires for sense objects is increasing more and more. It is like the association, in one sense, it is like a contagious. Just like any contagious disease, when we come across, depending upon with whom we come across that particular disease we catch. The same way, if we come in the wrong association, then we may catch that, and even what the wrong association will do, it will take us to it will change our goal only. Right now, wrong association will take us to the goal other than Krishna only, and we'll be going in the wrong direction. Because of which, what happens? All the material desires will develop in the heart, and the desires, as it comes in the heart, seeing the others, one wants to compete with more and more, and then in that again and again he gets intertwined, or more and more like a cocoon. So that way, one is this negative association. On the other hand, with a positive association, one may be like the Dhruva Maharaj, he prays that like bhaktim muhu pravahatam tvaime prasango bhuya dananta mahatam amalashayanam. For this verse, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in his commentary, he quotes this example of Dhruva Maharaj and says that there Dhruva Maharaj is aspiring for the association of the devotees whose heart is like the bhakti is overflowing, so that in that association he can forget all the miseries of this world. So that way, it's very important that it depends on what kind of association we keep. Based on that, like we become conditioned. So there's a common saying which says that you show me the 5 people with whom you associate more, and I'll tell your personality. Because we are made up of the average of the 5 people with whom we spend maximum time. That's what the psychologists they say. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, he says, who is a Vaishnava or a symptom of a devotee when it comes? He says, Asat Sanga Tyagi E Vaishnava Achar. That one who is Asat Sanga, giving up the wrong association, is the first thing he says. Otherwise, if you are not careful, avoiding it, then just like during the pandemic, if one is not careful, he will catch the disease, virus, and then he'll get affected. The same way, if you are not careful, then it may kill our desire to serve or go in the right direction. So, or it may put wrong desires in the heart, so which is like a poison. So that's why, because as a practicing sadhaka, we all need the association of the advanced devotees and the spiritual masters, because we don't have any direct connection with the Krishna. Even if, like now, Prabhupada also in this, okay, we'll read this. The translation purport. As will be seen in the later verse, even though Prahlad Maharaj was directly offered all the benediction he might have desired, he refused to accept such offerings from the personality of Godhead. On the contrary, he asked the Lord to engage him in the service of his servant Narduni. This is a symptom of a pure devotee, that they don't want anything other than the service. Here also Prahlad also says that I am not a merchant, and then he says that I want if at all you want to give me something, then remove the desire to enjoy from my heart. Yadidasyasi me kaman varamstam varadarshava kamanam hridya samroham bhavatastu vrane varam. if you want to give me benediction, yadi dasyasi me kaman, if you want to consider me as, like, if you consider me as your servant and give me, then kamanam hridi asamroham, in the core of my heart, that what the desire is there to enjoy, please remove that. In a similar way, Bhaktivinoda Thakur also offers prayer in one of the Vaishnava bhajan. He says that Ei matra ashamama tomara charane ahaitu ki bhakti hriday jage anukshane. This is my only petition, my dear Lord, the lotus feet of yours, that ahaitu ki unmotivated and ahaitu ki bhakti, unmotivated devotional service, may jage anukshane, every moment may it arise in my heart. And then he says, Vishaye je pritiye be achaye amara sei mata pritiyo charane tumara. The amount of desire I have for material sense gratification, may that amount of desire may I get to serve you and attachment to your lotus feet. And that is my aspiration, he says. So here also he says that's why one should serve the spiritual master first. It is not that one should bypass the spiritual master and desire to serve the Supreme Lord. This is not the principle for a Vaishnava. Once Srila Prabhupada is in Mayapur in the morning walk, and Prabhupada was had to cross a small kind of a ditch or a channel. There was Prabhupada's disciple Bhavanand Prabhu. He gave his hand, Prabhupada got hold of his hand and crossed it, and after Prabhupada crossed the channel, he came to the other side, and afterwards Prabhupada just gave up the hand of Bhavanand Prabhu, and just without seeing towards him, he started walking. And then after walking for few steps, Prabhupada stopped and he said that, what do you mean by this? What did you understand? They were wondering what to say. Then Prabhupada said, this is how the yogis and karmis do. They may take the support of the sadhana to climb up, and then afterwards they feel that is not needed, or they may worship or take the help of the spiritual master, and then afterwards they feel that it is not needed now. They are ungrateful or they want to give it up. But that is not the Vaishnava principle. So that's what Srila Prabhupada was indicated in that incident. And then Prabhupada quotes this. Narottam Das Thakur says, Tadera charana sevi bhakta sanivas janame janame hoy ei abhilash. One should not be anxious to offer direct service to the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised that one become a servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. Gopi Bhartru Padakamalayur Dasa Dasa Anudasa. Because even if you directly go to Krishna, then why should Krishna accept our service? Or who are we that that Krishna should accept us? That's why devotees always wants to go through the spiritual master, who is assisting his spiritual master. And that way, in our sampradaya, the prayers go up through, or we offer anything through the parampara, and the mercy comes down through parampara. In no way we directly have anything to do with the Supreme Lord. And even another reason that why do we need the spiritual master, the senior devotees in our life, is that as we progress in the bhakti, and when the bhakti lata bij is growing, okay, that will come here. I'll just read. This is a process of approaching the Supreme Lord. The first service should be rendered to the spiritual master, so that by his mercy one can approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead to render service. While teaching Rupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Guru Krishna Prasadipaya Bhakti Lata Bij. One can achieve the seed of devotional service by the mercy of Guru, the spiritual master, and then by the mercy of, and then by the mercy of Krishna. So while explaining this in the further verses in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says about how while this creeper of bhakti is growing, there are many weeds and upashakhas, they also grow. And as a neophyte or a practicing sadhaka, many times one may not be able to distinguish between what is material desire or what is the spiritual desire, or what is which the plant to be allowed and which one to be removed, because both look alike. If any of you, those who have done the agriculture, you'll be able to appreciate it very much that the weed sometimes appears to be more in the initial this one that realistic or the real plant than the real plant itself. Even during the lockdown, when we got some pots and kept in the terrace, and I was just putting some seeds, and I observed that two plants have come almost similar, and then I was thinking both are there. And then one day one devotee who knew, who was from little agriculture background, he came and he said, Proji, this is weed. I said, how is that? But it is looking real. No. And he told this. Then I could make out, oh, this is weed. Otherwise, I was thinking that is also the plant, and I would be pouring water. And the Acharya say the same thing, that it may be very difficult for us to identify what is the bhakti lata and what is the weed. And that's why we need a senior devotee who can help us to identify that and help us to remove the unwanted things from our life. And when one sees that they've helped me to do this, and we are getting so much of help from them, that way one remains grateful for that. And and even a devotee seeing that what the spiritual master is trying to do, remembering that he feels that even Prithu Maharaj says that if somebody feels that if he can repay the Guru, he is just like a laughing stock, because one cannot in any way repay what the spiritual master is doing. First, one should try to please the spiritual master, and then one should attempt to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also says, Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado. One should not attempt to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead by concoction. Yeah, not that we want to do whatever as per our this one. So whatever the acharyas have given, by following that. One must first be prepared to serve the spiritual master, and when one is qualified, he is automatically offered the platform of direct service to the Lord. Just like this we can see even anywhere in the day-to-day this also, that everyone is put under the apprenticeship, and then when one is qualified to work, then he is given the direct opportunity to work with the machines or anything on the project directly, live project. Otherwise, he has to work under someone. The same way, as a sadhaka, even it is said that a devotee, when he is completely purified, he has to take birth in the Bhaumya Vrindavan. That is in one of the universes where Krishna is personally performing his pastime. And then there, that is like an apprenticeship for him. Serves under the Krishna's pure devotees, Gopas and the Gopis, or whatever, according to this one. And then there he gets the training, and then he'll be able to go to the spiritual world. There's no direct entry. Except for the pujaris who serve the Lord every day and doing all the things which one is supposed to do. Putting the deities to the rest, or waking them up and offering the bhoga, dressing them. That's what happens in the spiritual world also. Everybody is trying to serve the Lord for his pleasure. one must first be prepared to serve the spiritual master, and when one is qualified, he is automatically offered the platform of direct service to the Lord. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj proposed that he engage in the service of Narad Muni. He never proposed that he engage directly in the service of the Lord. This is the right conclusion. Therefore, he said, Soham katam nu visraje tava bhritya sevam. How can I give up the service of my spiritual master who has favored me in such a way that I am now able to see you face to face? Prahlad Maharaj prayed to the Lord that he might continue to engage in the service of his spiritual master, Narad Muni. The same way, like now we see, Srila Prabhupada also always, like now in the Bhagavad Gita introduction or wherever he says that he, like now, when he has to identify himself, he identify himself as the like the servant or the disciple of his Guru Maharaj. Even in his passport also, in his father's name, he had put like the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's name. So that's what that was his identity, what he would like identify himself with. So there are so many examples even in the life of Srila Prabhupada disciples also, that how some of them they exhibited that like gratitude towards like Prabhupada, and how they remained grateful. And when you have this continuously, remember what like my spiritual master has done or Srila Prabhupada has done to us. That way we will remain loyal to Srila Prabhupada, and we will try to assist in whatever way we can. Otherwise, if we are not grateful and if we don't see what Srila Prabhupada has done to us, then we may take it to be granted, or we may not feel so much indebted towards Prabhupada. Even if we carefully try to see in our own lives, at least being born in South India, at least myself, I would have never come across, I didn't know much about Vrindavan or the Krishna's this one, or maybe okay, little bit of a Krishna might have come to know, but I don't think that anything about Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu would have, at least I would have come to know anything. So, and the process for this Kali Yuga Dharma, that is the Harinama Sankirtan and the Channa avatar of Lord Chaitanya, that I don't think that I would have ever come across. So that way it is the like Srila Prabhupada who took that struggles and hardships to carry out the mission of his spiritual master, because the all the acharyas, their desire is that like to give Krishna to everyone. It is like when a child is lost, when the child is taken back to the parents will be very happy. The same way, when the living entities are lost, when they are taken back to Krishna, Krishna will be pleased. And that's what all the acharyas want to do. That whoever are like Vimukasya Krishnat, like Janasya Krishnat, Vimukasya Daivat, Adharma Shilasya Sudukkitasya. Like because of that, turning away from Krishna, they have become adharmic, and because of that, that is leading them to Sudukkitasya. They are like very much distressed. Anugrahaya Charanti Nunam. Like the great souls, they travel across to show anugraha or their mercy to such people who have turned their faces away from the Lord. And Srila Prabhupada also did the same thing. He took the challenges or hardships to go to a place where unknown people, and then like going there to help them to turn their face towards like Krishna. It is sometimes it may be very easy to give something valuable to the known people or to our own people, family members or the friends or somebody. If you have to go to a unknown person and want to give something, like no, it may not be so easy. Like, or one may feel, why should I do it? What will I get from that? Because our calculation goes on based on what is in it for me. मुझे क्या मिलेगा? What? But then the like no, great souls, they don't see that what will I get, but whether will that make my Guru and Krishna happy or not. That's what they see. And because of that, they are ready to take any risk. And once they're least concerned about themselves. So once Giriraj Maharaj shares this incident, that Maharaj was in Bombay. He was serving as the temple president at the time. It was a night. He was sitting in one of the station or somewhere, and on a bench, and suddenly a beautiful young girl came and sat on that. Like Maharaj was little uneasy, but he was just sitting on the this, and she was sitting on the other side. Slowly she started coming closer and closer, and then Maharaj could sense that she has some wrong intention. Actually, she was sent by some people to defame. And Giriraj Maharaj, when the moment she came little closer and was trying to like come much closer and like touch, immediately Giriraj Maharaj like loudly chanted Hare Krishna and ran away from there. And then Giriraj Maharaj said, like when that beautiful girl came and sat, like different thoughts are going on in my mind, and then like one thought came to my mind that if I do something wrong, like what will happen to Prabhupada's name? If I do anything, like the blame will come on Prabhupada. So, and I don't want that to happen. And that's why, like remembering that, he just like gave up. So that way, because of the gratitude, what Srila Prabhupada has done, so remembering that even devotees went to the toughest places of the communist countries, smuggling the Bhagavad Gitas, which were not allowed that time, carrying it to the like iron caged countries, and then like distributing the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, risking their own lives. So that way, when one is grateful, one doesn't mind going to any extent. We see even in the case of if one doesn't remember what what benefit one has got or what mercy one has received, then one may become careless and he may forget what has been done also. Just from the Bhagavatam, the example is that of the Indra. Vishwarupa, this is the pastime of the Vritrasura pastime, in which Vishwarupa agrees to assist the Devatas, but at the same time Vishwarupa was supporting the because his mother's side, he was from Danava. He was doing putting oblations to them also. Initially, Indra goes to him and he requests him, and Vishwarupa agrees, and he was very happy. And the same Vishwarupa, when he did the yajna for the asuras, Indra becomes so this one that he forget that he had helped me in the beginning, and he cuts his head. So that way, one may go to any extent of forgetting or becoming ungrateful, and go to the extent of annihilating the same person also. So Srila Prabhupada also was always, he never felt the separation from his spiritual master, and he would say that like my spiritual master is there always with me. And we know the incident when one of the Vyas Puja day, when they were planning to celebrate it in the evening, Prabhupada became so upset that how is that, like how can you make it happen? And immediately he personally went and like cooked almost 12 course meals for the afternoon, and then he came and then gave the class also. So that way, when one is grateful to the spiritual master, he will remember all the things which he has done to oneself, and in that he'll be happy to contribute to the best of his abilities. So that's why here also in this shloka, Prahlad Maharaj is telling that I want to serve the Narada Muni, who has, I was born in a Asuric family. Now he has given me this opportunity, glorious opportunity of serving you, my dear Lord. I don't want anything but to serve Narada Muni. That's what he is offering the prayers. So I pause here if any comments or corrections or questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Thank you very much for beautifully explaining the mood of Prabhupada, especially with respect to the attitude of gratitude. How Prabhupada was actually always grateful to his spiritual master. You also quoted the example of Prahlad Maharaj being grateful to his spiritual master, and you have quoted some examples from disciples of Prabhupada on how they were always grateful to Prabhupada. And also you mentioned that we don't have qualification to directly approach the Supreme Lord, and that's why we should go through our spiritual master. Thank you, Prabhuji. It was very nice class, and I'm fortunate to hear after a long time. I would like to unmute the lines of the devotees. You may please share your comments or questions or reflections.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, now we are connected to the Lord through our spiritual master, Jayapataka Swami. Now we are offering devotional service. Now we are in the right path, no, Prabhu?
Yes.
Yes. But the neophytes, the beginners who are offering their services, who are into devotional service, who are offering the bhoga to the Lord, and who are offering service to the Lord, should we, how we should think about these kind of devotees, Prabhu?
Which devotees?
The neophytes who are offering bhoga or who are into devotional service, they are directly in contact or directly in line with the Supreme Lord.
No, they are offering through Prabhupada. If they are offering, if they have heard the philosophy, they'll be offering it. Like, no, Prabhupada is the preeminent Shiksha Guru for all the devotees. That's what we study in this one also. IDC also. That because Prabhupada's teaching we are all following. So that way, like now we offer it through Prabhupada. Till the time one doesn't take the Guru Ashray, till the time they offer to Prabhupada, and like no, Prabhupada offers it to Guru, and then it goes.
Okay, Prabhu. That means even if we are not initiated, we can, through Prabhupada, we can offer it Lord Sri Hari. That is Supreme Personality of Godhead, Prabhu.
Yes, yes.
Yes, Prabhu. One more point, Prabhu. Srila Prabhu, Prahlad Maharaj, who also used to meditate on Lord directly sometimes, Prabhu, because most of the time we have heard, we have read, and we have through Acharyas, we have understood that he was a great devotee of the Lord also. He used to meditate on the Lord, Prabhu. How to understand?
No, meditating on the Lord or like no glorifying and like no remembering the Lord, that is not condemned, or that is not, it's not that like no, this shloka is not telling that you should never meditate on the Lord, you should just meditate on the Guru. That is not that this one.
Yes.
Basically it is telling that our service to the Lord, or like no, it is not that I'll give up my connection or the service or touch with the Guru and then directly I'll jump to Krishna. That is condemned. But other than that, like no, serving Krishna or the what does the spiritual master does is nothing but that tells us to remember Krishna only, right?
Yes.
He tells us to suppose like no read Krishna book. That means like no, then when we read Krishna book, we'll be hearing about Krishna only. Then that means we are directly in touch with Krishna. Does that mean that like we should not do that and then we should just like keep reading about Guru? No. By the mercy of the Krishna, Krishna sends Guru in our life, and then the Guru teaches us how to serve the Supreme Lord.
Thank you very much for the nectarian lecture, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, those days, this internet and all was not there. We used to listen to one person and meditate upon his preachings and all that. Like all of them, they were listening to Prabhupada. But now, at least for me, Prabhu, we listen to so many people sometimes. But sometimes it is good, but sometimes we get confused. The different views are there. Is it right to listen to the people or it is not correct? Some of them speak so well, you get motivated, but in the end, I'm not able to do swadhyaya.
Yes, Mataji. So previously, in terms of Prabhupada's time, Prabhupada was the main through whom they would get to know everything. So that way, and even Prabhupada also made his disciples protected him. He would tell, don't go to Gaudiya Math or don't go to Radha Kund and all. Sometimes the devotees, when they hear that, they may feel, why Prabhupada is becoming very exclusive, he wants that everybody should be his followers or not. No, Prabhupada's mood was that Prabhupada understood that they are still what do you call the tender plant. If the tender plant is not protected, any goat can come and eat away the whole thing, and the plant may not grow only. But then once that plant becomes a little bigger and it becomes like a small tree, then nobody can do anything. So that's why Prabhupada wanted to protect its devotees from the getting wrong understanding or somebody trying to give wrong this one. So that's why it was Prabhupada's teaching was the main thing. And now, yes, there are so many other what do you call it? Internet, so many people are available, but then we should try to be very selective in that. Otherwise, even though in this ISKCON also, they may not be wrong, they may be following the teachings of Srila Prabhupada only, but then their emphasis may be different depending upon the mood of their spiritual master or what their services are. Like Prabhupada gave different services to his different disciples. For example, for His Holiness Loknath Swami Maharaj, he gave the Padayatra, and for Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, BBT and the book distribution. For His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, told to develop the Mayapur and mass preaching in the Bengal and all, Bangla. So that way they took those instructions and they are focused on those instructions, and that way they request, just like Prabhupada used to tell that my Guru has requested and he has sent all of you to me, so you all please help me. The same way the spiritual master will what instruction he has got from his spiritual master, that is Prabhupada, they will be requesting their disciples to help in those regards. So that way hearing from that will be quite beneficial. However, the philosophical classes, there may not be any this one, because the principle remains the same, either whoever speaks. So that way there may not be any challenge or the difficulty in that.
And what you told, Prabhu, the very practical approach, when Prabhupada was crossing a ditch, he takes the support from Brahmananda, Prabhu.
Brahmananda, yeah.
And then he leaves the hand and he tries to explain. Such things we can never forget when practical things way of learning. Very nice, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Prabhuji, just want to add one point, Prabhuji, in this context. When I hear Radhesham Prabhu's Radhesham Prabhu's class, so he used to emphasize on certain way of listening. He says always every day we should hear Prabhupada's lecture for about 30 minutes to 60 minutes on daily basis, and then our own spiritual master's class for about 30 minutes to 60 minutes, and then other speakers. So that way our connection with Prabhupada remains strong, and also we can understand the mood of our respective spiritual masters. So that way we can actually nourish the relationship with the spiritual masters. And of course, after that, we can hear other speakers class. That's what he was emphasizing. That's
Yeah,
what I understand.
very wonderful point. Yes.
Prabhu, we are grateful to the Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya team. We have finished Leela Amrita, and so many people, when you keep on telling us about Prabhupada, you emphasize on that. We are ever grateful to your team and the temple team also.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Sankarshan Priya Prabhu and Ravilochan Gaurav Prabhu and Venkatramana Prabhu and all of them for taking care.
Yeah, all glories to the devotees. Because of all the devotees' presence, we are able to do this. Thank you, Prabhu. Any other comment, clarifications, question from the devotees?
Ravilochan Prabhu wanted to say something.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful class. I think that very important thing of gratitude and rooting everything through spiritual master is so critical. I think that's you emphasize through all these examples. It's very important. Thank you for that, Prabhu. And for the Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, it's all Sankarshan Priya Prabhu, and we only do very small role over here. All glories to him.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, there is one comment. I will just read it out. Grace Prem Priya Mataji has typed a comment.
Yeah, I read it.
Prabhu.
Yeah.
Oh, you read it? Okay. Thank you for the wonderful narration with examples of how a disciple should always have faith and gratitude towards his spiritual master and their service to please him. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. If there are no questions, we can end today's session with Vaishnava Pranam. Vancha kalpatarujyasya kripa sindho bhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Jai. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai. Thank you, devotees. I will end today's session. We will meet again tomorrow morning. Tomorrow is Ekadashi. So we will have Srila Prabhupada's class on Ekadashi day. Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.